Hello, and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm not
and today,
reviewing Twin Peaks.
yeah, this has got to be episode 6 of The Return. Um, to cut a long story short, this. See, I'm confused about this episode because there was like the stuff with the sheriff, like just randomly he gets this coin. Well, he finds the coin and it's got, like, I guess the Native American head on it. And then he kind of goes into the toilet, and then, like, one of the stool doors, there's a bit of. So he decides to whip it off, and then he finds, like, some random bit of paper. So
Yeah,
I thought that was random. We've still got. See, I think we forgot to mention, like, last episode, but one of the best moments of that episode is when, like, the car blew up. I thought that was kind of cool. So you've got. I mean, right at the start, I guess, like, Dougie was kind of standing at that cowboy sign again, just kind of
oh, yeah, still there.
staring at it. So again, the police have to take him home. So he's sitting down with his woman. I mean, their names are as if they actually called their son Sonny Jim.
Yeah, but
That's
to be honest, I'm getting to the point now. I've talked about it before. I am at the point now where I need him to get back to normal.
um. See, I knew you'd probably say something like that, but it's super funny. Like a little bit later when he's at the office thing and, like, the elevator door shuts on him, I thought that was funny.
It's kind of funny, but we've already seen that kind of thing. We
I
saw a couple of
I
episodes of it. I mean,
I ain't seen no door
I'll
shut
be
on him.
I'll be honest with you. I quite liked the episode. I thought it was good, but the thing we might as well just get to it. The thing with the kid, like I felt like it was two separate episodes. Like, it just took me out of everything. Once that happened, like I forgot everything that came before it.
Yeah, so, well, like, well, Doug is at his house, and then the woman's bleating on at him, and then I guess he goes upstairs to say goodnight to Sonny Jim, and then they're clapping and the lights going off. That's pretty cool. And then she goes off on one, and he comes downstairs, and she shows him the picture of him with with his woman, with his hoe. And then I forget her name, and it's like, oh, she gives two rides, and then the wife's like, yeah, I bet she does. That was jokes. Um, so yeah, and then he goes to do his work, and then he just starts drawing random pictures on there. Then he goes into work, and then, like, the guy wants a meeting with him, and is looking at the pictures, and he looks as though he's kind of piecing whatever together. And then it's just like, yo, you need help. Then we've still got, like, the car was getting cleared up, and across the street you still got that, like, junkie woman. Like, I don't get what she's about. You got her. I don't even know whose house that is. Like, whose house, like, his car was parked outside. Because she's always like, oh, where's your car? Where's your car? And it's like, whose house is that? Because
Was
it's
that
not.
was
It's not.
that the yeah? I don't know either. Was that the same house where you had the cops and the one cop was on the roof?
Yeah, because he got the registration thing off. Because when the car blew up, obviously the flipping
Oh, okay.
the front
I
or
wonder
the
what.
back must have landed on top of the building. So yeah, that house there, because I'm guessing it's not the hooker's house, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's his house. I don't really know, but it's just some random house that no one's been to except them. So yeah, we had that. Then we had the kind of the kid and is talking to the drug dealer. He sniffs a bit. I think it's the kid who was with Amanda Seyfried, and, like, the kind of waste man who went into that job and was like, they laughed him out of there. I think the guy with the sharp features. So
Mhm.
you had him, and then I guess he's working for the drug guy, whether he's distributing. So he gets in his truck and is driving down the street, and I guess the hit must have been a good one, because he's getting really mad and worked up and stuff like that, and hitting stuff. And then you had an old guy walking in the park, and he sits down on the bench, and there's a woman playing a ridiculous game with her son, where it's like, there you go, kid, run ahead 10 foot, and then stop, and then I'll run the other 10 foot and catch her, and then stop, and then it's like stopping and starting real goofy.
What is that? Is that a thing that I just didn't do as a kid that other people did?
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Um, So yeah, so they do that, and then like they get to a road, and the guy waves them along, and then you've obviously got uh Sniffy, and is driving along in his car, and then they decide, oh, let's actually play this game on a crossing. Let's not walk across the road like a normal person and then carry on like down the road. We're actually going to do it at a crossing. So he comes along and just mullers the kid. The kid gets splatted, and then he just carries on driving. And yeah,
Wow.
um,
And it's not like my surprise wasn't the killing the kid. I don't mean it doesn't seem out of the realms what so far I've seen for this show. It's just like how they did it and what like you actually saw the kid get hit by the car, and then we had like it felt like at least 5 minutes of just the mum there wailing with the kid in her arms, like Jesus Christ.
well, I think it's a good thing, and I'll tell you why. It's a lesson to any mother and father and anyone in the care of a child. Never play that game.
Hmm.
Ever. Just never play that game. Just don't let your kid run 10 foot ahead of you.
Especially in a road.
Exactly, because he's clearly not looking where he's going until he stops. But the only problem is, yeah, so the kid got mullered, and then we had a scene, I guess, with like his soul kind of
Really?
went up and
Oh,
dissipated.
that,
Yeah,
that was. I saw like
little
the lodge or whatever it was, but
there's like a little fire cloud, and it went up and then like dissipated. So yeah, you had that. I guess with the well, you had the lodge when he kind of is sitting there, and then he kind of looks down, and then he kind of sees the guy and is like, "Don't die" or something like that. He says something. Says something
yeah.
else, and is like, "Don't die," and it's like, "Oh, okay then." So I guess that's a precursor, because you got like, because I was sitting there and I was watching, I was thinking, is he a little person? You had the bald guy listening to Mexican music, and I was like, is he a little person? And then I thought, nah, I must be imagining it. And he's got a picture of like a dark-haired woman, and then Dougie Love with the kind of Lucky 7 insurance company that he works out. And then he starts stabbing the pictures, and you kind of think nothing of it. I was trying to work out what he was stabbing them with. I was thinking, is that a screwdriver? And then I thought, nah, forget about it. And then he pops up a little later, and it turns out he is a little person, goes into the office and jukes up a woman, and then like another woman sees it, so he jukes up her as well. Also, like the David Lynch's character, like, because he was on I think he's got to be being weird, because when he talks like a maniac.
Yeah, it's intentional. Whether you like it or not, that's you. But it is intentional.
Yeah, but it kind I'm just kind of like, what the hell, man? Not in a bad way, but just like, what the hell? Like, because you got the bald guy in his car, that FBI officer is driving wherever it is raining. Then he goes into a club and meets, I think her name's Julia.
I assume she was in the old show.
That is exactly right. That's exactly what I was going to say. So I'm not going to spoil anything by saying what our character is, even though I 100% know who she is. So yeah, what else happened?
Oh, we saw right before the kid got hit. We were in the diner with what's her face from Riverdale.
Yeah, she looked
Well,
kind
I
of
would
good
say
in
she's
that.
looking fine. I don't
Yeah,
know what's going on,
I
but
think it was a light, because I was sitting there and I was thinking, oh, she looks about 10 years younger, you know. I
she
was
does,
thinking,
doesn't she?
boy, she don't look too bad. And then I was thinking, it must be the light. She looks way better with her hair down. I think she
Mm.
wears it up in Riverdale, don't she?
Yeah, and look, I mean, look, she doesn't look bad in Riverdale. She just looks her age. Yeah, which is fine. She's playing the mother, isn't she? But I mean, she looked hot here, and then there was another woman like who was.
All I
I
can
guess,
remember was the big woman, and I was thinking, I'm
well, there
gonna.
was two of them, weren't there? There was the waitress, and then there's one putting in the order who I assume is like, I think she said she was the teacher. He had the waitress who had the weird laugh.
Yeah.
Still in my nutting.
No,
And then
so, what was that about?
I don't know. I don't know what the
I
laugh
think
was.
we saw her later, because she came out, yeah, just, but, and
She's the
when the.
one that, yeah, she's the one that saw the dude drive off.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think where he went. Right, he
He, he,
drives.
drove, he drove down to some like it wasn't a swamp. It looked like some sort of like I don't even know what it was. Maybe the entrance like a woods or something, but he just parked and like got water out and cleaned the hood or something, didn't
Yeah, because he kind of looked at the front of the car and then got pissed off and kicked it. He saw the blood and kicked it. I was like, why is he, man? So yeah, he must be on one hell of a trip, man, because he had no regard. So there are a lot of kind of. I think this was a real good episode. I mean, you had. Well, this has got to be like a big mystery now. The kid getting splattered. So that's going to unravel, and then that's probably going to lead him to the drugs or whatever. And that guy, you had the little guy running around. No offense, the little guy running around killing people. So that's like a big mystery. You had the wife. I forget her name, and she kind of paid off the creditors. She kind of got mad at the two creditors and were like, "Look, I'm giving you 25,000. That's my final offer. Get out of here." So
he? Yeah,
yeah.
you had the sheriff's wife come into the station again and found out that their kid, I guess, or at least her kid, maybe their kid, had killed himself, and then you had that douchey cop.
Yeah.
Who's well, we got life as a soldier or something like that.
Yeah, you kind of had, and that was, I think we covered all the points. In
Mm-hmm.
terms of numbers, I thought it was a big one, I liked it a lot.
So though I liked that, I'll give it an 8.5. I I don't don't misconstrue what I said earlier. I do think it was a great episode, but that thing with the kid really did take me out in a good way for quite a while. That did impact me. I guess it worked.
Yeah, I think if you're going to have things like that, it needs to be like that. I don't see why they censor that sort of stuff. If you're actually going to do something like that in one of these kind of shows, it's like, don't just like give the appearance that the kid's got it and then have him like that
Hmm.
at the end, at the in the next scene or whatever. It's just like, show it. Obviously you're being shocking doing that in the first place. Don't censor it. Let's be serious. And it held a good life lesson as well, because that game was horrific. Don't let your kid, who clearly has no, because he weren't looking about, he was just running in the, like even in the park he was just running. So I mean, if your kid's clearly got no environmental awareness, and I'm not talking about climate change, I'm talking about his surroundings. Don't let him run 10 foot ahead, because he's gonna get hit by a car.
Wasn't the old guy your man from Alien?
I don't
What's
know, but
that? Henry Dean Stanton. Henry Dean Stanton. Is that his name?
I don't know, but he had the weirdest ears.
I think that was him because I hadn't seen him in a long time. The last time I saw him, I think, was like in the Avengers. Remember when the Hulk comes crashing through the thing and
Oh,
he's like, "Son, you have like a condition or some crap like that." It's him, isn't it? I think it was.
yeah. But he
Hmm.
had he has weird ears, right? He had
Yeah, he's
kind of
old,
like
isn't
he kind of had like Spock ears, but it was like all skin. That's what I noticed. So yeah, um, I'll give it a 9.
he? Cool.
I think it was the best in the last two episodes. There are a couple slow bits, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm Sam,
I'm not.
and we'll see you for the next one. Keep it at the Superhero Hub. Holla!